Hello and welcome, Jacob Groening, to our first ever flow music session here in Berlin at Sage Restaurant. We haven't met in person before, but I know your music for quite a while, and I must say there's something very special about your music. Can you tell us a little bit more about what makes music for you so special?
Hello, thank you for inviting me. Yeah, so how did it start with the music?
Yeah.
I mean, when I go a little further, it started with my first drum set that I got from my parents at that point. I never got some lessons, but I got this drum set. So we started making music with my brother, with friends in a band, and then I somehow got into hip hop, and then came the first fusion 1996, and I got very much into this minimal electronic music. I got my first laptop, and then I realized I can music from everywhere I am, just with headphones and laptop.
Do you remember your first ever gig?
Yes, my first ever gig. This was in a club. I grew up in a smaller town, and this was like the only club there. And then we did like this party, and I was playing. It was like something from Fatboy Slim, and ended with Timo Maas. The people wanted to have more like J-Lo on the block, but I couldn't do that.
You couldn't do that. You couldn't handle this.
Couldn't stop smiling when you asked me this. Okay.
And how did it feel? Were you nervous? Probably yes, right? Or was it just like a fun project?
Yeah, I was very nervous, and it was also very challenging because they had these Denon players where you just with your hand have a jog wheel to get the speed correct like this. So it was very, very challenging to do it, but it was in the end very much fun.
Great. And what was the feedback of your school friends?
Yeah, they really enjoyed it, and the owner of the club was very annoyed because I didn't play the music that he wanted me to play.
J-Lo and co.
Yes, this kind of stuff, yeah.
Now you're probably in the electronic scene. What does electronic music do to you?
Yeah, electronic music leaves me in a mindless state of joy. And yeah, it's like kind of timeless for me. So when I listen to electronic music, because it's so repetitive but still tiny changes, it's kind of the time kind of fades away somehow. In a nice way.
Is there any other style of music you could compare with electronic music, for your opinion?
Yes, for me mostly I was thinking about this sometimes, and for me it's like very much parallels to jazz music and also to classic music.
Yeah.
Because it's also like this one pattern that is like making the whole idea of the song, and then it's like in the break you have like get distracted from this main idea and you are like fading away. In jazz it's like they play solos that go somewhere else, and you totally lose track of what was happening before, and then like boom comes the basic sheen again. You're like, oh, okay, that was the idea. So yeah, I think there's a lot of parallels, but of course it's not the same thing.
Yeah. You somehow can combine very, very different styles of music like jazz, gypsy, Eastern blues and soul. How do you do it? How do you manage it to just combine all these different styles?
Yeah, I don't know, I always play around. I started with like playing around with samples, and I always try to make it somehow work. I kind of need these different styles to get always new inspiration. And I mean, I like music from different cultures, and this keeps me always inspired, and I can this way also surprise myself when I'm making music, and this way I can also maybe surprise also someone who listens to it.
You do.
Nice.
Do you have a favorite style of music?
I mean, it always changes. I was into more slow music. The newest productions are a little faster. And then I had like a phase where it was like very inspired by blues music. Nowadays there is like synthetic music in the last month. But also, of course, I work with samples. But yeah, I don't know. At some point, I like to somehow use the microphone in the productions. Nice. Like something that's made by a microphone to have like this analog, organic touch with it. Yeah.
Was there ever a point where you said like, okay, no, I'm over music, I can't handle this any longer, and I'm gonna give up on this?
Yes, I had several moments like this, but then there came always like a message from someone, like maybe SoundCloud or whatever, like from all kinds of different parts of the world when I just started, kind of, and was like, it showed me that were little signs that showed me that it's the right to keep on doing this, and even if it's challenging, and to follow my intuition and my heart. And I'm doing it to this day, and I didn't regret it.
Very good. So people and also like situations influenced your career?
Yes, of course. There's always like things that happen that influence your career in some way. Sometimes in a good, also in a bad way. But yeah.
Is the surrounding and the environment influencing your music, or the situation, or the flow of the situation?
Yes, a lot. I mean, for me, it's not like so much like, of course, performing. If you have like a very nice location and a very nice audience, this is like the best thing that can happen. But also, like for inspiration in general, it's very much, the surrounding and traveling, and it's very important to me to. I realized as soon as I somehow move. If it's a train, if it's a plane, if it's the bike that I'm on, like when I have headphones, and I get always very inspired.
Yeah. As a DJ, are you more a festival guy or a club person?
It's hard to say. I think more festivals. Yeah, because it's outside. I think it's more free. You can.
When I was listening to your music, I also get the feeling that your music can be deep and at the same time very, very light and free, and it lifts you somehow up, right? And is it for you, for example, like that melancholy and love are connected to each other, and you also try to put it into your music?
Melancholy is love for me.
Yeah.
It's dreaming, sadness, and happiness at the same time. I always try to make a song that's very happy, but all the time it doesn't work out somehow. I mean, it's not that I'm not happy, but I get very much into this melancholic music. This is kind of what I do automatically. When I start producing, I try to express my feelings, and this is maybe what I feel when I do it.
At the moment, the situation is a bit difficult. The art scene and the music scene got affected by the coronavirus very hard, and the whole event branch is in a very, very fragile state.
Yeah, it had a big impact on me, of course, because all the shows, everything is gone. What is there if there's no events? And it gave me a different perspective on the things, and I realized a lot of things that I can improve for myself. Also, during the lockdown, I had as an artist a lot of time to do music and to work on music and to go very deep into my old projects and check what is there, what you can do. And it was really, this disconnecting in general was very connecting with myself.
Yeah. So you were very productive.
Yeah, I was very productive, and also, like I said, I could get a different perspective on things and see what is substantial and what is maybe not so substantial.
What would you say was the most positive outcome of this situation?
I never had so much time to make music in a row. I didn't have any shows, so every gig got cancelled. With not having to travel, I realized how much there's left I need to really get done, and that is important to focus on as well. And this was in the end then beautiful. Yeah.
You said something, traveling. I think as a DJ like you are, it's a big thing. Have you ever been to Australia?
Unfortunately not. No, I was...
Bucket list.
Yes, bucket list, definitely one thing on my bucket list.
We will all go together to Australia.
Yes, please.
Yeah, the next flow session is in Australia. But what was it what actually convinced you to be part of the flow session?
I like the idea to make to tell a longer story. I usually didn't such long podcasts, and while doing it, and even before, I was kind of excited by the idea to create something that's longer. So you have also to dive a little deeper in your music crates, and yeah, it's a little bit challenging, but it's also a nice outcome as for me personally, and also from the other artists. What I've seen and heard so far, it's really nice to give like some more time. And we have more time right now as well, so it's a good match actually.
Right. I know that you have attended some gatherings like Africa Burn and Burning Man, and you're also part of the Burner crew somehow, right? And what would you say, what is the difference of like the Burner scene, can you say it like that?
Yeah.
And the like a bit more conventional ravers or party people?
Yeah, I mean, the main difference is you are, as an artist, even when I was at the first Burning Man, I was like helping to pick straws from this sand, and we put all the bikes into one big container, and like until there was no single waste or trash left, nice. Like nothing. And it was like a lot of work, but it was very nice. We did it all together, and usually you also set up the camp. We didn't do that, but it's very nice that everyone's equal. Everyone is like also paying to make it happen. There's like camp fees, and like everyone gets together to organize this really together, and this is very beautiful. So also you can feel at the event the energy is like everyone was building all this up together. This is like this is a very big difference, and this connects also on a very deeper level.
Upcoming projects.
Yes. So I have an EP that I'm really much looking forward to. It's with the Gardens of Babylon. It's called Leslie EP. It's gonna be on the 25th September. It's gonna be digital, and then the vinyl is gonna be a limited golden vinyl edition.
Wow.
Coming as well. It's gonna be second week of November, and then I'm gonna launch a second label where I release music of my own, because Kamai is not enough to release so much music at the same time. This is called Tori. Tori music, yes.
Nice.
And there's also the first EP is also ready, and it's gonna come most likely in November, I think.
November 2020.
Yes, 2020.
Jacob Groening, thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me here.
Bye.